Hi. You typically the videos that I release on the $1,000,000 Extreme page, the videos we make, have a certain level of polish and finish to them, and they take a lot of time. But right now, I'm struck with the fire of inspiration, and I desperately need to share this with somebody. For the past day, I've been emailing advertising agencies trying to get work or something. Trying to move out to the West Coast to Los Angeles, and in my research, looking at these ad agency websites, I found this, and this is a company called Digitas, okay, which is they're just your generic fucking red, black, and white, minimal, clean-cut ad agency. There's nothing really special about them, but I found this on their website, and it's fucking insane. And now we're gonna watch it together. And the challenge is, how long do you think you can last before you start physically vomiting all over yourself? I lasted about 2.5 minutes, so let's see if you can beat my time. Here we go.
A vida noturna na cidade de São Paulo, ruas como a Rua Augusta, onde tudo acontece ao mesmo tempo.
Holy shit, please stop. Okay. This is called 3 Under 30. Three things. It's these people who create advertisements, okay? They're people who make the fucking the ads you see everywhere, okay? They are talking about 3 things that inspire them, and they have 30 seconds to do it. So it's kind of a cool, self-promotional piece, like maybe another advertising company will see this, or a company like somebody over at Pepsi will see this, and they'll say, "Wow, look at these people. They have a fresh perspective. I'm going to hire them. They're kind of cool and young." And I'm going to get back into it. I just stopped because this guy's speaking Portuguese. It's making me fucking sick. I can't even watch the rest of this. That's Portuguese.
I think my parents are some of the most inspiring people to me.
Faggot.
For sure. It sounds silly and sweet, but it's true. Stephen Sondheim has always been a source of inspiration for me. I think the man is truly gifted.
Yo, you're mad straight.
And I also believe that Harvey Milk is somebody who I want to aspire to be like.
You get tons of pussy, dude. Look at that cool beard. Try not to fuck too many girls.
The moon landing, pretty much mankind's greatest endeavor. These guys are badass. They put man on the moon using a slide rule, some magnetic tape. Less technology than I have on me right now.
Eat shit.
El Bulli restaurant in Spain. They are molecular gastronomists. They make food 6 months out of the year, and the other 6 months out of the year they're in the lab figuring out what they're going to make. They're basically telling jokes with food. Bread. It's simple, human, elemental. A little flour, water, salt, and add heat.
Wow. Can you imagine what that guy's life must be like? What a fucking piece of shit. If I had to live one day in his shoes, I don't think I'd be able to resist pulling the trigger of the gun in my own mouth.
3 things in my office that inspires me every day. First, a bottle of champagne. Every time a project starts, I bought a small bottle and I put it in my office. When it's finished online, I put it up to celebrate myself. The second thing is my super aquarium that I bought it when I started the Digitas. And what's really great is it's really simple, but at the same time it really looks cool. The third thing is the most important thing is my Princess mug cup that I given my grandma. That it's been serving for 10 years, and that's my really great inspiration.
That's right, folks. In case you thought that white people are the only ones capable of being totally fucking self-obsessed and vain beyond all belief, here's this fucking queer Asian dude with a woman's, a lady's scarf on. So this is equal opportunity mental hell.
What inspired me? New narratives. For example, puppet shows that I'm really into now. Another thing, the experimental cabaret shows that you see the process of creating new languages, and the third one,
Baby
the
brains.
silence of a creative environment when you can listen what the others are thinking.
Little tiny baby bird brains. That's this man's name. I have little brain. I don't know anything. Jesus Christ. Please help me.
Ma première source d'inspiration, c'est le site internet de
The Ghastly Crumb Tinies by Edward Gorey.
Oh!
His book about killing children. I'm inspired by the Camino de Santiago. It's a pilgrimage trail in the north of Spain that people have been walking for 1,500 years. They think they found the body of St. John in Santiago. And then finally, my roommate. She does a lot of great stuff for the nonprofit, and she works hard. It's really inspiring.
Wow. This guy's natural body scent is cum. He doesn't have to wear aftershave because he smells like cum all day. The Ghastly Crumb Tiny Tales by Edward Gorey? They're these children's stories? These are all people... Oh, stop. These are all people who have loving relationships with both parents who are still together. That's what being well-adjusted and not having trauma in your life does. It leads to this. These are people...
Working out's really boring.
These are people who have all had excellent lives, and the worst thing that'll ever happen is my parent passed away. My parent passed away 2 years ago. That's the kind of thing these people tell you, okay? That's what leads to this dumb, stupid, fucking happy look on this guy's face right now, okay? He just couldn't be more pleased to be a fucking piece of shit, total waste. And that's because nothing truly bad has ever happened to David, the creative from New York. He's a creative. He creates for work. How preposterous is that?
But not when you've got podcasts from the BBC History Magazine to listen to. Just yesterday I listened to The Origins of the French Revolution. You think, what on earth's that got to do with today? Well, I urge you to go check out those podcasts. They're fantastic, and they have a lot to do with what's going on today. Thinking about the BBC, they've just redesigned their website. Another passion of mine, great design. Neville Brody's team did an absolutely wonderful job of that. So go check that out as well. And a plug for New York. Brooklyn Academy of Music, BAM as we know it, just absolutely the best performance program in the city. Last night I saw Sam Mendes direct The Tempest, and you can. Tom Waits will work with Bob Wilson. You get all of these mashups with dance, opera, theater, music, and film. Absolutely wonderful.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. This is like someone designed a personal hell just for me. Guys, go get some popcorn because we're going deep here. And I know for some of you watching this might be, trudging on, boring, whatever. Don't watch it. But this is some of you need to absorb this right now. This is so bad. This is so very, very bad. These people have so much influence. The decisions that they make. To quote Gladiator, echo in eternity, okay? Everything you see, all the packaging, the movies, all the anything you see is somehow handled, is touched by these people. It's processed, in whatever way by these people who deserve death. If this group of 30 people or whatever died right now, I think the world would be a much better place.
Source d'inspiration, c'est la presse. Je suis un boulimique de presse.
Stop! I can't handle that for 1 second.
One, music, the Carter family, things from my Virginia roots. Two, I'd say living in a loft or a non-predetermined space clears your head.
Three, I would say campfires. Just sitting around in front of a fire is one of the best feelings I could think of.
That's pathetic. I bet he has a really nice vagina, though.
My first source of inspiration is Manchester, what most people consider to be a dark industrial town. In fact, was one of the most happening cities in the late 80s. My second source of inspiration is New York in the late 80s, early 90s. Why? Because, again, that's when hip-hop really came alive and it really inspired me musically. My third source of inspiration is the Hacienda, the mythical nightclub in Manchester, where you had such a rich mix of people that came together to produce what we now call house music.
Maine is one thing that inspires me a lot. It's where I'm from. Every time I go back, I feel really refreshed and rejuvenated. Makes me feel really safe. The second thing that inspires me is sunshine. No matter how crappy a day might seem, if it's sunny, at least to me, it can't really be all that bad. And then finally, as stupid or silly as it might sound, Super Mario Brothers is something that inspires me at the moment. I've been known to play for about 12 hours straight at any given time, and I think I'm actually pretty good at it.
You're right, that did sound stupid and silly. This woman is a golden retriever. This is not a human being right here. This is literally a golden retriever. Only dumber.
Three things that inspire me are music, shoes, and the Series 24. Music because I always listen to Spotify at work and normally listen to Bob Marley or R&B. Shoes because I've got a whole collection of shoes at home. And 24 because I enjoy watching Jack Bauer. And also Anil Kapoor is in the new series and is an Asian actor.
She's serious, I promise you. She's not making a joke. I looked into it, and that's totally serious.
The first thing I can think of is Puerto Rico, where I'm from, my beautiful island. It reminds me of how
That's enough of that.
I love fashion. There is one fashion designer I love is Martin Margiela. It's arty, chic, and poetic. And you should have a look at his website. It's quite original. And I love art. It would be Mark Roscoe. There's one place I love in the UK. It's the Rothko Room at Tate Modern. It's a great painter, taking you into the color. It's great. And then it would be David LaChapelle. There was an exhibit last year in Paris, which was breathtaking between reality and glamour, and I loved it.
One thing that inspires me is memories of being young and naive, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gianicolo's Hill overlooking Rome at sunset. Love that memory. I'm also inspired by discovering great, exciting new bands and art in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. And most importantly, I'm very inspired by my family and our ability to spread all over the world and still remain fiercely united.
Wow, I think he might weep on camera. Let's replay that one. That's the worst one yet. And as we watch this again, imagine his tiny little penis buried in pubic hair.
One thing that inspires me is memories of being young and naive, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gianicolo's Hill overlooking Rome at sunset. Love that memory. I'm also inspired by discovering great, exciting new bands and art in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. And most importantly, I'm very inspired by my family and our ability to spread all over the world and still remain fiercely united.
Wow, let's break that one down. Look at his facial expression, okay, when he talks about discovering bands in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. He looks at the camera, and that's so sickening. Swallow that. Look at that. Get into it, okay? Favorite memory, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gambardella hills of Italy. That was a great memory. discovering bands all over random warehouses in Brooklyn. I couldn't do it. I could not do this better. I could spend weeks rehearsing a character, and this guy would nail me.
One thing that inspires me is memories of being young and naive, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gianicolo this hill overlooking Rome at sunset. Love that memory.
Ooh.
I'm also inspired by discovering great, exciting new bands and art in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. And most importantly, I'm very inspired by my family and our ability to spread all over the world and still remain fiercely united.
I told you, this is what being well-adjusted, his family. He loves his family. I love my family. Like, grow up. What? Oh my God. This is the core of what is wrong with the world. This guy is just a big fat baby right here. And he loves his family and he doesn't want to be away from them. Let's watch
One thing
again.
that inspires me is memories of being young and naive, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gianicolo this hill overlooking Rome at sunset. Love that memory. I'm also inspired by discovering great, exciting new bands and art in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. And I'm very inspired by my ability to spread all over the world and still and most inspired by my family and our ability to all over Brooklyn. Inspired by my family, and I'm very inspired by my family. Inspired by most importantly, I'm very inspired by most importantly, I'm very inspired by my.
Oh my
One thing that
God!
inspires me is memories of being young and naive, drinking cheap Lambrusco wine in the Gianicolo this hill overlooking Rome at sunset. Love that memory. I'm also inspired by discovering great, exciting new bands and art in random warehouses all over Brooklyn. And most importantly, I'm very inspired by my family and our ability to spread all over the world and still remain fiercely united.
Fiercely united. That's abysmal.
Digital Turntable Lab, lots of great music, easy to download, really good stuff you can't find anywhere else. Vintage photography blogs, in particular one called Cosmic Dust, another called The Nomadic Way, really Americana-inspired old photographs. And typography, I'm a total type geek, and I really like Espo's work right now.
I want to see a reality show where he goes to prison. I'm a type geek.
In first position, The Evolution Store in Soho, New York, and in two, the natural, fresh, organic style of Dougal Wilson, and in three, Wet My Clothes, Playing Heavy Rain, especially my bands.
Yikes.
Romantic comedies, like Sleepless in Seattle or Latter Days, something to aspire to in terms of how you can be together with one other person. I've always also looked at Judge George Bundy Smith, someone I used to work for on the Court of Appeals. His quiet determination and his approach to collaborative views on the Court of Appeals and law in general. I've also been inspired, frankly, I used to collect comic books. So team comic books by DC, like Legion of Superheroes, and the way teams from very different people used to work together in a science fiction atmosphere.
This is the guy that sells you shit and tells you what to buy. Can you believe that?
Então, hoje o que me inspira, a número 1 é tendência. Eu procuro sempre ficar atualizado.
Gabudabubudu. The Mumu
One of the
guy.
questions that come to mind are just the arts in general. I remember visiting the d'Orsay in Paris and just totally gotten overwhelmed and you know, inspired by some of the...
You're fucking boring.
To start with, change, because it's challenging and you hope to improve yourself. Traveling and meeting new people and new faces. That's why I've lived in 3 countries, Venezuela, Spain, and England. And finally, music. I studied classical music for 10 years, but funnily enough, my favorite music is classic rock.
I want to put her in a snuff film. I want to see how hard I can punch her face. I want to punch her till my hand's broken. I don't care.
CargoCollective.com. It's an artist site that hosts artists from fashion to photography to other art directors. Second thing I really like is Uniqlo. And the third thing that inspires me is just people that are better than me, you know, people that make me strive to be a better creative in life.
You're a piece of shit.
Ce qui m'inspire, l'effervescence parisienne. De jour comme de nuit.
A gag.
Nature movies are awesome, like Microcosmos, Genesis, or Animals Are Beautiful People too. Seeing the little intricacies of animals interacting in their natural environment is really inspiring. Another thing is vinyl records, old vinyl records from the 60s and 70s, rock and roll. Having that physical thing you can hold and put the needle on is really great. Another thing is history books, seeing how people centuries ago could do amazing things without the technology that we have today is really inspiring.
It's everything that people hate about Keanu Reeves and nothing they like about Keanu Reeves.
Okay, 3 things for inspiration and inspiring. I'd say one of them is cycling. Go cycling every year to Spain, do about 100 miles a day, just love being out on the road. The other one after that would have to say is mountain climbing. I've done it for a few years, but actually being up there on the side of a mountain, out there with a good climbing buddy is absolutely fantastic. And the third one I'd say is music. I think it ties in with everything, it inspires, I don't know, it gives you something else.
I want to see this guy's real top 3, which would probably have some big fat woman using his face as a chair. I like having women put cigarettes out on my pecker. You're going to love this one.
First would be Vladimir Nabokov's Speak Memory. It's an autobiography of his life, and he spends the entire book searching for patterns in his life, and it's elegantly written. It's intricate. It's just a beautiful book. And the second would be Beethoven's A minor string quartet, because it speaks to the redemptive power of music. And the third would be my mom. She's a really strong person, and she's really instilled a lot of morals in me, and I respect her very much.
Somebody needs to put her out of her misery.
The artists and the craftsmen at Pixar Studios, their attention to detail in a highly technological realm, and their attention to traditional art in a more technological realm of filmmaking is amazing. Anybody who knows me knows that I soak up the New York music scene like a sponge. The variety and breadth on any given night is amazing. And more personally, you might not know that I love the Arnolfini Wedding Portrait by Jan van Eyck. It represents this break in painting technique that, you know, was 100 years ahead of its time.
This man is barely holding it together. If you see this man on the street, do not panic. Walk in the opposite direction, and hopefully you'll be okay.
Okay, 3 things I find inspirational. My old car, because it always breaks, and normally at the side of the road, so you have to find odds and ends that you've put in the boot with old tools and try and make it work out of just those things. And it's always raining, and it's always dark, and you don't have all the right parts. So that's, you know, it's pretty good inspiration. Old posters, especially Swiss design, things like that. Anything where good illustration's in, and pieces of string, because you always have to untangle them.
That was cute. His last one was a throwaway. It was a snarky, goofy, I'm a silly guy, and now you know a little bit more about my personality.
Has to be, number one has to be passion. Like, it has to be people who are really passionate about what they do. Anyone does that, I'll do anything to help them do it. You know, next I think is ideas, and you know, ideas are amazing. Like, and not just like great ads and stuff. We will do that, But yeah, things like, you know, the railway station at Lyon Airport is a wonderful, wonderful piece of architecture, beautiful idea. And then I think finally the other thing is solving problems for people. That's what we do. I mean, it's not just about regular advertising, it's solving things. I like that. And crosswords. Solving crosswords is good. Yeah, that makes me happy.
Stop talking.
Three things that inspire me. One, getting out into nature, climbing up mountains, hiking around, swimming in the lakes. It's always nice to get out in nature. Second one is got to be martial arts. I love seeing different cultures' interpretations of how to express the human body. The third one is ice hockey. Love the pace of the game. I love the aggression of it. And that's not what you see in the Olympics. That's a watered-down version of our sport.
Wow, yikes. So there you have it. Next time you buy a product or you find yourself wanting an object or liking a musician or something, just remember that these are the tastemakers right here. The people you just saw embarrass themselves for all of eternity. They are the ones who are in control of your buying decisions. Just remember that. Keep that in mind.